Hi everyone, thank you for watching and thank you for your comments and feedback. In today's video, I'd like to respond to all your questions, especially the most common ones. One of the most common questions that we've received is this system a multi-user? The answer is yes, this system is actually a multi-user. As you can be able to see, these are three main workbooks. They usually act as a user UI, user interface, where the users can be able to feed in the information or capture the record, and all this information gets populated or updated in the database. So we have another folder called data, which holds different workbooks, which acts as now the database. So for example, over here I have all the student records. So these act like the student information database. Another question was about user rights. So in our previous video, we actually discussed about you can be able to create different users and assign them roles. So today I'd like to show you how these roles actually are assigned. So I have this user Reg001 whom I'd like to log in with in the admin workbook. So if I try to log in with this username Reg001, I'm getting this error. You do not have permission to access this workbook. It will close in 3 seconds. If I click on OK, this workbook is actually going to close. But if I try to access the same workbook with a different user, let's say SIS001, with this new user, you can be able to see I'm able to access. The reason is, if I come here to the user management, I'm able to see Reg001 does not have access to the admin workbook. So let's change that and give them access. So I'll click save and update, and then I can close my workbook. Then try again to access using the same username Reg001, and we see previously we were unable to access the system with this user, but right now you can be able to see that we have accessed the admin workbook with the Reg001. The reason is because we have given him access to this workbook. Another question, the third question that we were asked is about the financial or the academic year and term. So currently you can be able to see that my academic term that is actually open is term 3 financial year or academic year 2026, and I did not run any invoices for this term. So you can actually be able to run bulk invoices using this button, or you can close and then open. So whenever you open a new term, the system will prompt you if you would like to generate all the invoices for different things. For example, the tuition fee, the boarding fee, transport, any fee that is mandatory for that term, it will be captured when we are generating the bulk invoices. Also, another thing to note is when you are generating the bulk invoices, the time that it takes to actually generate this invoice depends with the number of students that you have. So if you are generating for the whole school of, let's say, 500 students, it will take a little bit longer compared to 32 students. So it has successfully generated. Then you can be able to see that term 3 is open and the last time that the invoice actually ran. So when you're opening a new term, the system prompts you or asks you if you like to generate all the invoices. So you cannot be able to close a financial or an academic year if any term is actually open. So you need first to ensure that all your terms are closed so that you can be able to close now the academic year or the financial year. So when I click on close, the system will ask me, do you want to run the end year closure and carry all your balances? So if I click on yes, two things are going to happen. The system is going to generate or calculate all the pending balances for all the students, and then it's going to carry them in the following year, which will act as now the opening balance, of the next academic year or financial year. So it's asking me to enter the year. Now the year is closed. So remember, you can be able to open or close a term as long as that year is actually opened, academic year. But once the academic year is closed, you cannot be able to open or close or post anything in that academic year. So if I try to open, so whenever you open a new academic year, one thing usually happens. The system usually prompts you or asks you if you want to prompts you or asks you if you want to promote all your active students to the next class. So if you are going to the next academic year, let's say 2027, the system will ask you, do you want to promote these students to the next academic year, to the next class? So if you say yes, all the students will move one class ahead. Okay. Let's discuss about the class setup. So for example, if we say yes when we are promoting the student, any person or any student who is in playgroup will move to PP1. Anyone who is PP1 will move to PP2. Like that. I hope you get the flow. Also here, we have different streams. We can activate or deactivate any stream that we want. And what you notice is that this workbook is actually, or this system is actually like relation. It correlates with each other, because when you close a stream, get deactivated, and then you can be able to see that the screen is actually grayed out. If I close grade 2, be able to notice that grade 2 is actually grayed out. Also, in the fee policy, you'll be able to see that grade 2 is actually grayed out. So you can't be able to update the fee for grade 2. Also, in the different fee codes that we have, if we deactivate something like a tuition fee, that tuition fee becomes deactivated. If we deactivate, let's say, a uniform, that uniform gets deactivated. So this shows you that this system is actually intelligent enough. Lastly, you can also be able to do some basic things in the system. For example, you can be able to do a health check. This will generate a report which will tell you if everything is checking in the system. Like, if all the files are there, all the files that are needed, are they there? So right now I can be able to see I have one error. If I click on OK, and then I go to my logs, then I click on the health check, the system is going to tell me all the issues. So the error is the term, because if I can see here, all the time are actually closed. So the system, since there is no term that is opened, the system is recording that as an error. So from the log file, I can be able to actually determine where the problem is. Lastly, one of the most funny questions that I actually received was, why do we actually call this a system, yet it's an Excel workbook? That's a very fair question. I actually found that to be a very fair question. According to me, yes, this is an Excel system. The reason why I'm calling it a system is because it's not only a workbook, because it has a lot of or automation process in it. For example, opening or closing a term, bulk invoices. It also has a structured workflow, which most Excels don't have or simple workbooks don't have. It has a well built-in validation whereby, for example, you cannot be able to bill for something that is not there. For example, if you close a class or when you deactivate a class, you cannot be able to actually ask for fees or be able to put in fees for that class. If a class is not active, you cannot be able to actually bill for that class. It also has a number of reports, which simple Excel don't have. And we also have a lot more that we are yet to cover. For example, the logs. So according to me, this is not just a basic or a simple Excel. This is a full school system. Compared to the others, in here, your formulas don't get corrupted. You don't lose data. You can be able to easily generate reports. You can be able to see the user log activity, etc., etc. So much more, and that's why we are calling it a system. Kindly write down to me or comment if you actually think this is a system or a simple Excel workbook. Thank you for watching. Thank you for your time. Remember, you can be able to get this Excel free of charge for any two classes. If you need help or assistance in configuration, we can be able to also do that for free of charge. Thank you once again.